Good morning class. Welcome to your English video lecture. Students, in our previous video, we have started English language. Sorry, not English language, English literature. Right? And in English literature, we were doing supplementary reader and alien hand. And from that book, I have explained you chapter number 2. Right? The summary of the chapter. Now today, students, we will be doing the exercise question, that is the textual question from your book. Okay, and here in this video I will be discussing the questions with the answers of the questions. Okay, so after this video, watching this video, I hope that all of you do these question answers in your fair notebook. Okay students, so today I will be discussing the question answer here. So let's start our question answers. The first question is, the enclosure in which Curry lived had a thatched roof that lay on the thick tree stump. Examine the illustration of Curry's pavilion on page number 8 and say why it was built that way. So basically here it is the question is basically that what was the reason that where the Curry, the elephant, he used to be, he used to live, what was the reason that it as you can understand it that way, that it was a tent. Okay, so why it was standing on a trunk of a tree and not on the bamboo stick like normal tents as they do. Okay, so to answer this question is, Curry's pavilion was built under a thatched roof having its support on a thick tree trunk. The support was necessary to save the roof from falling down when he moved about and bumped against the bamboo poles. So basically the answer is what? The reason that the roof was standing on the thick tree stick trunk was that because as we know that elephant, they quite have a huge size, and if they are inside the tent and they move, so if that particular tent or bamboo is standing on a simple bamboo, so if the elephant is moving inside that tent, the bamboos can come down, but as it was standing on a thick tree trunk, it will not come down that easily. Okay, so that was the reason that it was not standing on the bamboo poles. Okay, now moving on children, the second question is, did Curry enjoy his morning bath and on the river? Give a reason for your answer. So here the question is that did Curry, he enjoyed his bath that he used to go for every morning in the river. So yes, Curry loved to take bath to the river for his taken to the river for his bath. He lay down on the sand bank. The narrator rubbed his body with clean sand. Then he washed his body with water. He used to make sound joyfully. So here basically we have given the description that yes, he used to like taking bath to the river. How we can say that? We know that when Curry used to go towards the river, he used to lay down on the sand and put all those dirt on him so that he can if he is going into the river, he will get all the water, and then the narrator, he used to rub his whole body to take off the sand that he has put on his body. And while all these things were happening, the elephant, he was enjoying all of that. And when he was taking bath, he used to take it around 2 to 3 hours. Okay, this long they used to go for bath, and that time he used to enjoy that. And what else? While he was washing, the narrator is washing the elephant, he used to make joyful sounds to express his happiness. Okay, now moving forward, question number 3 is, finding good twigs for Curry took a long time. Why? So twigs means what? Twigs means the light and you can say thin pieces of wood, branches of tree, right? So why it was important, why the finding good twigs for Curry was it took long for narrator to find that. The narrator had to work hard to gather soft new twigs for Curry. He had to climb all kinds of trees. If the twigs were deformed, Curry refuses to eat them. So why it took a long time? Because first of all, the quantity of the twigs that he used to use every day was quite much. So to go to every different branches of tree, every tree, and to take out those twigs from those trees, and if those twigs of trees, they are deformed, they are not in a good shape, then Curry, he used to refuse to eat those twigs, and he doesn't wanted to play with those twigs. So it was really important that the twigs that the narrator is going to he's taking for Curry should be in good form, good shape, and that he should enjoy it, right? Next is, why did Curry push his friend into the stream? Friend means what? Who is the friend here? The narrator. What was the reason that he pushed him into the river? So let's discuss answer. Curry pushed his friend, the narrator, into the stream because a boy was drowning in the water. Curry himself could not save and carry the boy to the shore. So what was the reason? The reason was that, as we know, that Curry pushed his friend, that is narrator, into the stream because because there was a boy who was drowning in the water, and Curry, he was not himself able to help the boy. So he wanted his narrator friend to help the boy, and to as we know that elephant, they cannot talk, they cannot express. So the only expression that he knew at that time was to hold the narrator and put him into the stream, so that he could see that there is a boy who is drowning in the water, and after he saw it, he basically helped the boy, right? Moving forward. Okay children, now let's discuss question number 5. Question number 5 is, Curry was like a baby. What are the main points of comparison? Okay, so we know that Curry, in the chapter, he has been treated like a baby. So why? What was the reason for it? So let's see the answer first, then we will discuss it. The answer is, okay, so answer is, Curry was like a human baby. He had to be taught a new few lessons to become good. Like a baby, he too played some mischiefs. He used to steal away the fruits from the dining table. Right? How we know that he was a baby? We all know that he was like a baby because as we all know that if a baby is not told that how he should behave, they just do whatever they feel like doing, whatever they like, they just take it without telling other people. So similarly, as we know in the story, Curry was like this. When someone gave him a ripped banana, he after eating that banana, he became a huge fan of banana, and after all of that, what happened, he was taking bananas from the dining table of the narrator's house, and as everybody was not aware of it, so what was happening, the basic instinct of the parents was that someone is stealing the bananas from the house, and the first investigation, or you can say first victim of that was the servants. And when they scold the servants that this is not the way how you behave, you are taking the bananas without telling us, without asking us, and after that still the thing was happening because Curry was unaware of it. So when the parents thought that, as we can see that if the servants were the one who was taking those bananas, they would have stopped it after we have scolded them. So what happened, the next victim was the narrator himself. The parents, they thought that the narrator is the one who is stealing the bananas, and they started telling the narrator that this is not how you should do. And the narrator, he was quite shocked. He was in a state of anger that I am not the one who is stealing it, but still all the blame of that is coming on to me, that I am the one who is stealing the bananas, I am the one who is taking all those bananas. And he was quite frustrated. And during that time, he discovered that who is the actual where actually all those bananas are going. So when he got to know that, he was quite angry with that, and when he scolded Curry for doing all of that, then then Curry, he realized that what is his fault, and he knew that what is the thing that he is doing is wrong. So there he stopped it, and he then realized that this is not how he should behave. Okay, now moving on to sixth question. The question is, Curry helped himself to all the bananas in the house without anyone noticing it. How did he do it? So basically the question is that how Curry was able to take all the bananas without anyone knowing it, that where the bananas are going. So let's read the answer first, then we will discuss it. Curry was a mischief but intelligent creature. He started taking away the bananas kept on the dining table. He used his black long trunk to steal fruits through the window. So basically how he was taking all those bananas, he was going towards the window, and through the window he was taking his long trunk inside the house, and there was the dining table on which all the fruits were there, but only fruit that he was taking with him was bananas. And that moment of time, nobody inside the house, they were even aware of the fact that there is someone who is taking the bananas, and all they were doing was taking, giving blames to each other. First of all, the servant was the one, and then the second one was the narrator. They both were the victims of taking the bananas, but the actual thief of banana was the elephant, that was the Curry. Right? So now let's move on to the next question. Okay, so question number 7, children. So question number 7 is, Curry learned the command to sit and to walk. What were the instructions for each command? Okay, so we know that for elephants and for any other animal, it is very important to know that they, to teach them commands. Okay, so that they understand that what these commands means. Right. So similarly, here also in this chapter, Curry, the elephant, he was, he was given some commands which he had to learn, so that he knows that what the masters want him to do. Right? So what was the command for sit and to walk for Curry? This is the question. Okay, so what was the command? Curry learned the command to sit or stand up and walk fast or slow. The word dhat was the command to sit down. The word mali was the command to walk. Okay, so what was the command? To sit down, the command was dhat, right? And for standing up was the command was mali, right? So we all know that in the beginning, when the narrator, he was teaching him how to know this command and what are the meaning of those commands, it was very difficult for him to learn a few commands, that and especially was dhat. It took around 3 weeks for him to learn these commands, and for Mali he took only 3 to 4 lessons for him to understand that Mali means to stand up. But for him to understand that what is the meaning of dhat, and when my master is saying dhat, it means to sit down, it took quite a long time, like 3 weeks for him to learn that command. Basically, why the narrator, he also explained here in the chapter that why it is important for the elephant to understand this particular command. It is because as we know that the size of the elephant is quite huge. So if if the elephant doesn't know the command dhat, if he doesn't know the command for sitting down, it is very nearly impossible for the for the master of the elephant to maintain that elephant. Why? Because we know that everyone take bath, right? So if the elephant is not sitting down, so it is very quite impossible for the narrator or anyone who is keeping that kind of elephant or kind of huge animal to wash them or to maintain them, right? So it was important for narrator to understand, to make him understand that what does this dhat word means. This command means to sit down. It took quite long, but he was able to understand the command and he was able to follow the command. Now moving on to the 8th question, children. What is the 8th question? Question is, what is the master's call? Why is it the most important signal for an elephant to learn? Okay, so here the question is, what is master's call? Why it is, important for for elephants to learn it. So the master call was a strange kind of hiss like a snake and howling like a tiger. So basically this sound, the strange sound is combination of hiss, that is a sound of snake, and a howling, which is basically a sound of tiger, which tiger make. Okay, so it is the combination of both the sounds, and it sounded like a fight between a snake and a tiger. So the sound, when it combines together, it feels as if the tiger and the snake, they both are fighting. Okay, and the sound had to be made in the elephant ear. Where it had to be made? It had to be made in the elephant ear. It was a necessary signal for Curry to uproot the tree and make a passage through the dense forest for the house. So basically, why the master call was important? It was important because it was basically a signal for the elephant to understand that his master is in danger, and if he understand the sign, he would be able to do what he would be able to do, to uproot the trees that are in front of him, and by uprooting every tree that he is passing through, will make a passage through the dense forest. Okay, and why master call? Master call is what? Master call is a basically a sound, a strange voice combination of hiss and howling sound, which if made in the ear of an elephant, the elephant needs to understand that my master, he is in a danger, and he wants me to take him out from this danger. And in order to do that, what the elephant has to do? He has to uproot all the trees and make a passage through the dense forest towards the house. Okay, children. So now here the chapter's textual question answers are over. With this chapter, you only have to do textual question answers, word meaning from the chapter, and hard words from the chapter. Okay, so this is it for today, children. And if you have any doubt regarding this chapter, you can ask me. Okay, thank you and have a nice day.